Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Ryan Luibrand, Messaging Manager for Inspiron at Dell, and Eddy Goyanes, the Product Marketing Manager for Alienware at Dell. Thank you for joining us, Eddy and Ryan.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Glad to join.
Let's start off with you first, Ryan. We're talking about some of the new computers, notebooks, and PCs hitting the market for this fall. You got a big lineup to talk about, but let's talk about some of the highlights. First of all, what are consumers going to be finding new this year? Obviously, I think some new processors.
That's right. As part of our launch and with our partners' launch, Intel has released their 10th generation of processors. It comes in two different flavors. It comes in a 10 nanometer processor that was previously codenamed Ice Lake, and then a 14 nanometer processor that was previously codenamed Comet Lake. And we're introducing our PCs, consumer PCs, to both of them. So on the XPS 13 2-in-1, which is brand new and available in the market, it is the 10 nanometer Ice Lake product. And then we have also updated our XPS 13, the regular clamshell laptop version, with the newest Comet Lake processor. So we have those different processors on both of those products. And then on the Inspiron line, we've introduced the Comet Lake processors on the Inspiron 1315, 17, 7000 2-in-1s. We're also releasing, among those 2-in-1s, the silver versions. Now, we had black versions of the prior generation, 8th generation processor that we had announced at CES, and we also had launched them in May. But now we're updating them with the new processors, and among that line is going to be a silver version. And this silver version is going to be more entry-level than the black editions that we had. If you remember, the black editions came with i7s, UHD screens, and then that very innovative hinge that we call the pen garage. So there's a pen garage, a slot on that hinge that holds the active pen that was compatible with, and then you just, you would put it in and then close the laptop and be able to take the pen with you. Now, the silver versions don't have that, but we're also adding a new size, a 17-inch, which is an excellent desktop replacement, and they're all getting updated with Thunderbolt 3 ports. And then on the Inspiron clamshell side, we're also introducing a brand new 10th generation processor, Inspiron 14 7000. Now, this is made out of magnesium alloy. It is super duper light. It is awesome. Feather light. You can open it with one hand. It's got a beautiful screen, really high-end panel. But it's a full HD panel because we're really focusing on battery life, and our battery testing is showing over 16 hours. In fact, I have some documentation that goes over 20 hours of battery life on this product. So we're really super stoked about it. So it's really compact, small, light, and can last throughout the day.
Where does pricing start on that?
I've got. It starts at $930 in North America.
And that's for
that will be available on October 1st.
And that's for the Inspiron 14 7000. Sounds like a great machine. What kind of consumer is that targeted at?
So this is kind of going to be for the person who's on the go throughout the day. We really feature a lot of always ready features because customers are used to the smartphone experience. When you have when you put your phone down and the screen is off, it is not off, but it is still on and semi-awake. We're bringing that experience to laptops, and so this product has what's called Connected Modern Standby. So when you're connected to the internet, it will, even when you're asleep, it will take care of updates. Compatible applications will still be able to download your email, for example. And we've also included what we call a lid open sensor. So even if your laptop is completely off, when you open it, it will start booting up right away. When you're in modern standby or connected modern standby, it pops up right away as well. We've included a fingerprint reader so you can skip the login, just get right to the desktop much faster. And it's great too because it runs off of solid state drives that come standard. They're NVMe SSDs, and so it's really super snappy. The new processors are super snappy. It's also using the new Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi 6 it's called. That's the 802.11ax protocol using Intel's WiGig Plus technology, so that also makes it faster for you to connect to the internet, so you're not waiting on an unstable connection. So for us, for that product, it's really the always ready experience, and we just want our customers who travel around all day and are constantly putting their laptops in their bag or pulling it out and working on it for a few minutes, putting it up again, just to have a really good, easy phone-like experience.
That sounds like a lot of people who go to work and maybe even students, college students, high school students.
Absolutely.
Are there any other machines that really are in the sweet spot for families and back to school?
Yeah, so we had a couple of products that we also had launched, although they weren't our primary focus at IFA or some of the other events. They're in the 5000 series. The 5000 series for us are a little bit more of the kind of customize it your way, get the value you want out of your PC. We've updated the Inspiron 15 5000 clamshell products with some of the new processors and you're going to find a lot of this information available on Dell.com. Starting October 1st is when most of the products are going to be available in North America, and you'll find everything that you need there.
And of course, the gaming market is growing by leaps and bounds. And Eddy, let's turn to you for what the latest is from Alienware. What are you making headlines with?
Oh man, so many exciting products. It's we may go over on time, but this summer has been a whirlwind for gamers that love and care about Alienware or aspire to get a new Alienware product. This May, we announced our new thin gaming notebook line with a new Alienware M15 and M17. Those are the thinnest laptops Alienware has ever introduced. It's our thinnest laptops ever, and that did not come at very many expense or very many sacrifices. These notebooks are for people who want incredible gaming performance, and they don't want to compromise on any of that performance or on any of the design either. So we have incredible options that range as high as an i9 processor and up to an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 graphics card, and that's true for both the 15 and the 17. And actually, I acknowledge many gaming notebooks out there have those kinds of specs. Our engineers are most proud to introduce, and it's a very technical realm, but we're introducing 8-phase graphics voltage regulation and 6-phase processor voltage regulation. This technology allows the graphics card and the CPU to run at their highest levels for an extended amount of time. And that's how we're able to maintain extremely high performance. And we believe we have the most powerful gaming notebooks as far as thin gaming notebooks are concerned with these two new additions. But that was early summer. This August at Gamescom, we introduced basically everything that you'd wish for on a desktop, and not just the desktop platform, but also the peripherals to accompany it. I'm particularly excited about the new Alienware Aurora desktop. It is the follow-on to the previous generation Alienware Aurora, and it introduces the new industrial design known as Legend. So the entire system looks different. It's beautiful. It's part of our Legend industrial design that we've been rolling out since CES earlier this year. And what's even more exciting about this industrial design on the desktop is that because of the design itself, we're moving more air through that chassis. In fact, we're seeing up to an 8% drop in temperatures at the voltage regulator heatsink. So what does all that mean? Well, if you're a desktop gamer and you care about overclocking or you care about high performance and stability when you're tweaking your system settings, you're going to want to make sure you get the lowest temperatures possible. So we're really proud to share that this new design isn't just beautiful and iconic, but it's also delivering a functional benefit of delivering better airflow and reduced temperatures inside. And that's really remarkable.
And as far as the performance is concerned, obviously gamers expect a lot, and you've got
absolutely.
you have a history of delivery.
Oh, we definitely do. Performance is one of our brand tenets, and we have 4 brand tenets when we develop our products. One of them, you hit it, is high performance. We've also got iconic design, premium quality, and innovation. So we always strive to incorporate innovation somewhere in our new products to make sure that what we're offering is breaking the ceiling, right? Going past beyond the ceiling of where we think gaming is today, and that's how we kind of visualize our products and how we imagine new products as we're developing them. Beyond the Aurora desktop, we've got 3 new beautiful displays, which actually Ryan is a pro talking about those displays as well. The one that got the most attention and the most excitement and has even started to win some awards is the new Alienware 55-inch display. This is a 55-inch OLED panel with a 4K resolution, and it is incredibly breathtaking. It's also in the same Legend Industrial design that we saw with the Aurora desktop. So they match incredibly well. And it's also a very, very fast FreeSync panel. In fact, Ryan, what was the refresh rate on that panel? Can you remember?
Yeah, absolutely. I can talk about this in my sleep. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have. My wife might have complained about that to me once. It is a 120 hertz variable panel, so it can do AMD FreeSync, but that goes over DisplayPort 1.4. So if you were looking at this and you saw it for the first time and you see just the sheer size of the 55-inch OLED screen, you might come and say that, hey, this looks a lot like a television. Why would I choose this over a TV? And the primary answers to that is that this is 100% a monitor. Number one, it doesn't have any sort of TV tuner in it. I mean, as TVs are getting smart, you're going to start seeing less than that anyway, so you might still be able to brush that off. But it has the primary thing is using a monitor scaler. So a lot of televisions, when people are gaming on a TV, will have input lag. And that's because televisions prioritize image quality and image processing first, so that you'll get the best image as clearly as possible from whatever compressed video signal that you're using, like be it cable or over some sort of video streaming service. And when that happens, that introduces some latency from when somebody hits a button on the controller to when it actually displays on the screen. And it can be, I remember when I was first playing on plasma TVs and getting 35 milliseconds of display lag that you were able to calibrate in the rhythm games like Guitar Hero. On a monitor, that lag is practically non-existent. It is much smaller, sometimes even less than a frame. And it's because of that, like, you're going to start seeing that that some people who might be used to using a console on a television might start switching over to a monitor. And we had actually specifically designed this thing at 55 inches to be like on your desk, so that your head would be within 3 feet of it, so it takes up your entire vision. It's really difficult for me to just describe. You just have to experience it. We're gonna be showcasing it around, and if you have an opportunity, I highly recommend coming out and seeing it.
Dare I ask the price tag on
everything? It is $4,000 minus a penny, so that's going to be the start price. 4K for 4K, 4K UHD panel, OLED display, 98.5% DCI-P3, 120 hertz. I mean, this thing is a beast. And
55 inches, but not meant to be viewed across the room. Of course, you could, but you're supposed to be sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, presumably this is designed as a monitor, and it is the world's first 55-inch OLED gaming monitor. So it's going to take a little bit of difficulty for people to kind of wrap their heads around when they see it for the first time. For people who might not be able to set it on their desk, let's say they have a small desk, we do include a VESA mount adapter so that you could plug it in and wall mount it in your gaming den if you need to. So that is there. I mean, that doesn't really help my case about it not being a television, but it is a monitor first.
Terrific.
Yeah.
And
it's breathtaking. And the quality of that OLED panel is just incredibly beautiful. The color gamut extends in the DCI P3 range. So you're getting a very rich display of reds, greens, and blues that I think gamers around the world will just drool over, to be honest.
Terrific.
And
Can't
they have.
wait
I
to
had
see
it at PAX West recently, and I got a lot of good feedback on it.
Well, tell us about where pricing starts on the Aurora desktops and where they can go up to.
Yeah, it starts just under $1,000. I believe it's around $979, and they can go up pretty high. I mean, you're talking about lots of configurable options, right? You could configure your processor from an i5, Core i5 processor to an i9K processor, which is unlocked and overclockable. You can opt in for CPU liquid cooling. You can opt in for dual graphics options. And by the way, we've made a decision to exclusively offer HyperX Fury DDR4 XMP memory on every Aurora desktop moving forward. So that's cool because whether you buy a system at the entry price point or more expensive, everybody gets overclockable memory. So you could squeeze even more performance out of your system. And that's something we haven't done in the past. So I'm really happy to share that with anybody listening. So we've got that incredible memory. We've got, you can store up to 5 hard drives. Storage drives because they're solid state drives. You can have up to 5 drives in that system. So imagine that, 5 drives, 64 gigs of memory, dual graphics cards, i9K processors with liquid cooling. So as you can see, the range of configurability and price points is very, very wide. So we've got something for folks in very different budget places, right? You might be looking for a desktop at $1,000, at $2,000, or at $3,000, or even above. And what's beautiful about this desktop is that it is our most upgradable desktop in history. So, and not only is it upgradable, but a lot of those upgrades are toolless upgrades. So you can do them without requiring any special tools. And, you know, we know a lot of our customers come from a background where they've built their own. Today, they may just want a new desktop and not have to worry about the intricacies of building it. So we've enabled our desktops to have toolless upgrades. So even if you buy the starting at configuration today, you know, we encourage you guys to look into the system, open it up, and perform your own upgrades over time. So it's a very scalable desktop as well.
Terrific. So we don't have time to talk about a whole lot more. There's so much more we could talk about. They've got a tremendous lineup. For more information, the best place to go, I'm assuming, is Dell.com?
Absolutely. If you want to learn more about Alienware products, you could also go to alienware.com. And if you want to talk to members of our community, come check out alienwarearena.com.
Eddy Goyanes and Ryan Luibrand, thanks so much for taking the time with us.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on C-Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love C-Crane.